You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on the irlonestar.com.
Good morning. Wednesday morning, July 12th, in the year of our Lord 2017, to everybody in Montgomery County, Conroe, and on the World Wide Web. Yes, we have listeners everywhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to figure out how to print that out or get Jake the engineer or Dick to print that out or get a screenshot. Because we got people from all over listening. But good morning to you, Montgomery County, because this is Lone Star Community Radio, based here in downtown Conroe, Texas, a partnership with the city of Conroe in some ways, but also standalone Lone Star Community Radio, the heart and soul and brainchild, so to speak, of Dick Schissler. So we bring community news events. We bring the community to you, the community. So good morning to you out in Splendora, New Caney, Patton Village, Tamina, the Woodlands, Magnolia, Willis, New Waverly, right here in Conroe, the thriving metropolis of everywhere around the lake, Cut and Shoot, Willis, and on and on and on and on. And Jason, wonderful Jason from Conroe Coffee, an extravagant and effervescent coffee shop in downtown Conroe. Good morning to you all. I missed you guys. It seems like it's been a while. I know we were just on Friday, and we had Brian Dawson, local businessman, political activist, so to speak, meaning that he's involved in the political process. He announced his candidacy. And yes, it came out in the paper the night before, and that's great. Conroe Courier, you're a great local paper and stuff, I guess. But we got the worldwide premiere on the big media, on YouTube. Come on, man. You don't get any bigger than YouTube. Duh. You know? You don't get any bigger than Channel 12 suddenly, because that's... I haven't been able to figure out how to track down the directory yet, but tell me if I'm wrong. Every show that we do this week will be on Channel 12 next week, right?
Next week, that's correct.
And I believe it's a standard where I've got to look at it, and I think somebody sent it to me and I lost it. Had a lot going on, and that's no excuse. I think like Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday is when Montgomery County Lifestyle is played.
I don't know about your show off the cuff.
Yeah.
I know Dick is working on getting the actual schedule once it's officially finalized.
Right, because there's still a lot going on.
Yeah, there's still some stuff they're playing around with, but I think he's going to have it posted up on Lone Star.
Bottom line is, they can go to Channel 12 Suddenlink and just see, because it's not on me. It's a lot of content.
Yeah, a lot of content.
It's from
every show.
Yeah.
Every talk show, and then even Morning with Lone Stars, the interviews that he does.
Yep.
They do little 30-minute segments with him.
Yep.
So.
And then City of Conroe also has other content that they put on there as well, too, besides just city council meetings. So bottom line is, wherever you are, you can go to the cityofconroe.org and you go to their oh God, what is it? I forgot the name of the page. But anyway, you can go to their archives. You can go to their media and their TV and see the scheduling, and then go to Channel 12. If you got Suddenlink in the Conroe area, metro area, Channel 12 Suddenlink, check it out.
I haven't seen my show yet, but I think that this upcoming Friday will be my first opportunity to actually go watch it. So
I haven't seen mine because I got rid of cable.
Yeah.
You know, like last year, because it was ridiculous. Now I want to get it back.
I think I'm just going to go find a bar or a restaurant or something to go put it on for me.
They serve iced tea at bars. So
that's right.
No, but folks, this is community radio, and this is community stuff, and you need to get involved. So later on in the show, after the half hour, we're going to bring Dick Schissler on, and I want him to tell you what this radio station means to him and what it needs to mean to you, and what you can be a part of. So we'll do that. But right now, let me switch over here. I don't have a guest today. We had a guest, and something came up. So I want to just give a shout out to Pat Childers. Pat Childers is the general manager of the KOA Campground and Event Center out in Montgomery. Man, if you've never had a chance to go there, you need to just pull up in there and drive around. There's this huge event center up front, and there's this huge marquee, and it's across the street from some apartments there, right past Walden Road. And if you're leaving Conroe, it's on your left-hand side. If you're leaving Montgomery, it's on your right-hand side. And then when you go back in there, it's like a hidden oasis. There's 2 lakes. One is huge, and it's got a boardwalk that goes all the way across it from one side to the other, and in the middle is like a little pavilion. Great fishing. Oh my gosh, there's thousands of little perch. So if you just taking a kid and you just want to catch something, it's the lake to just go catch something. But good friend of ours and good friend of mine, Nancy Wagner, was fishing till 3 a.m. recently when we were there for the Fearless Boxing Match show and caught some incredible bass. So then there's a swimming pool. There's a big bouncy, air-inflated trampoline thing surrounded by sand so you don't get hurt. There's volleyball, there's basketball, there's horseshoes, there's fire pits, there's barbecue pits, there's 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom cabins, there's pull-throughs, there's RVs, there's trailers. It's fun, dude.
So, like, anybody can go out and camp?
You can go out and camp, and here's what's going on. For the rest of the month of July, 20% off anybody that lives in Montgomery County. And the reason she and I were talking, she wants to promote this, is when you can't afford to get way, way away, when you can't afford to even go to Galveston, much less to the hill country, you can go right down the road and you bring your RV, you bring your tent, or you rent one of the cabins. And the cabins are nice, man. The cabins are incredible. They've got the 1-bedrooms have the full-size bed and a fold-out couch so you can sleep up to 4 people. It's got a full kitchen.
It's got a kitchen.
Yeah.
Wow.
A full kitchen. Big kitchen. It's got a barbecue grill outside so you can cook your steaks and shrimp and stuff. It's got a fire pit. And then there are 2 bedrooms. One of them is a full-size bed, so it sleeps 2. The next bedroom has 2 twin beds, so it sleeps 2. And then the couch folds out, so it sleeps 2, so that sleeps 6 total. So anybody in Montgomery County for the month of July can go out there and get 20% off. And the rates are incredibly reasonable anyway. But it's a great oasis. It's a great getaway when you can't afford a lot. And then they have day passes. So for $10 per person, you can go fish, swim, basketball, horseshoes, bouncy thing, whatever it is, jog, bicycle, and just relax.
Talk about a way to, celebrate a birthday or get the kids out of the house for a day.
And that's what they do out there. That's what they do. They have a lot of people that come out there for quick little family reunions or little Johnny's birthday, so 10 people come out there. It's so inexpensive, $10 a person. They have everything, and it's for like 10 hours. It's like 8 to 10 hours that $10 gets you. And then you just bring your hot dogs and your hamburgers.
It's cheaper than going to a Chuck E. Cheese or anything like that.
And they're outside, and they're swimming.
They're playing.
And they're playing, and the families, they got pavilions. But anyway, they're not a sponsor of this show yet. Pat, I'm going to be talking to you about that real quick. I need you to be, because we're going to really try to promote you if we can. But the reason I brought her up, too, is one of the reasons she's going to be a guest is not only to talk about KOA, but one of the reasons she's done that is back in 1999, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was pretty severe. And so 2 years she battled, and 2 years was pretty life-changing. And then her husband, as soon as she got well, so to speak, her husband suffered some severe heart attack. So they took about 3 or 4 months, and they traveled the country in an RV. And they just wanted to get their life in order and realize that time is of the essence and time is important. And what is important about life? Earning money and being the dude, or being family, being together and being alive and sharing things. So as they were traveling, they looked around and they said, wow, we could probably make a living doing this. And so one thing led to another. And because they needed to change their life and their lifestyle, they are now managing the KOA. They have a lot of employees, good employees, fun employees, and they're able to give back to the community, so to speak, because they care about others, because they offer a great escape. So to me, that's just a wonderful story, and that's what I want Montgomery County Lifestyle to be about. That's what I want this station and my part of it to be about, is to be able to bring to you those cool stories, but that there's always a handful of people out there that need to hear it, and that maybe they can bring something to them. So, Pat, it's okay. I hope that everything goes well. We miss you. We love you. Co-host Christy Leggett was going to be in at the last minute. She had an important business appointment. That's okay. My buddy Eric Estes was going to try to drop by. Excuse me for looking at my phone, but he's texting me. Good morning, Vietnam. No, Eric, I know you're still suffering from those PTSD episodes, but we're not in Vietnam right now, dude, okay? We are in Montgomery County. I get it. Maybe you just want me to do that for you, but I'm going to wait and save that. I want you to do that. So when you and your lovely wife come on here, he's married to a model, by the way.
Is he really?
Yep. Eric Estes is married to a model. Her name is Candace. She's about 20 years younger than him, or at least when you look at him and you look at her, you think she's about 20 years younger. So they're going to be on here soon. She works for a company that also, in what she does, is takes care of other people and takes care of people's loved ones and stuff like that. So there's so much out there, folks. There's so much in the community to talk about, whether it's memory care, elderly care, people who are down on their luck and destitute. My Facebook the last couple of days, I don't know why, I got to throw it out there. I don't know if God's trying to talk to me about something, or if I'm just attracted, if this outlet has attracted needs to people. But man, my Facebook message has blown up on Nathan, mine, and on Montgomery County Lifestyle with people in need. Somebody with Batten's disease, and an article was written about her son and the disease, and she wants me to talk about it. And she's not asking me to so that they get publicity. She just feels that so many people need to know about it. So that's cool, you know. There's somebody out there alone dealing with that, or dealing with cancer, or dealing with ALS, or dealing with some crazy disease. And then so many people have autoimmune issues that they've got that mask on. You're like, hey, what's up? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, great. Hey, Dad. Okay, see you later. And then they just crumble because they hurt physically, emotionally. So I got to tell you, I'm going to try to get to you as much as I can, folks. A lot's important. A lot going on politically, too. A lot going on in the political process here in Montgomery County. And it's a needed thing. We need elected officials. We need leadership. But the dirty side to it is there's a lot of dirt. There's a lot of real dirty stuff going on, and there's a lot of fake dirty stuff going on. And then there's a lot of real stuff that people are calling it fake stuff, but it's really real stuff, but that's how you deflect it. So where do you end up in the middle? I just want to be in the middle. I'm not going to be the newspaper or the TV station that goes and breaks the stories. I've had so many of them dropped in my lap, and I really want to do it, but man, I just need you guys to keep me on the right path and keep me positive. I don't need to be that negative dude out there, but we can talk about it as much as we can, and we can try to bring the positive. So, folks, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break right now, and when we come back, I'm going to talk to you about a little bit of story that I have that it's kind of heartbreaking to me. I'll probably get choked up, so bear with me, but I think it'll touch some of you out there in need. Then we're going to move into some of the political stuff going on, events, positive and stuff like that. And then later on, we're going to talk about Lone Star Community Radio, because that's what we need to talk about. Folks, you're listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate on Lone Star Community Radio, your community radio station, right here in downtown Conroe, and we'll be right back.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
I tell you what, deep down inside, I am a happy-go-lucky kind of dude, and I love this music. It's just, it kind of uplifts you and gets you going and stuff, but I'm having a hard time the last couple of days. So, folks, I'm gonna share with you something that's going on in my life right now, and so many of you are going to want to reach out, and you're going to want to send me messages or text or comments. things of encouragement, and I appreciate it. But I promise you, this is not my goal right now. It's not for me. It's for my wife and her family, their friends, and it's for others, because there's so many other people right now being faced with things like this nature. I just fill you guys in. We've kind of been quiet about going into too much detail, but it's it's time to. A little over a week ago, this past Saturday, so it's almost 2 weeks, my father-in-law just woke up at 5:30 in the morning, just kind of gasping for air, having some issues, and couldn't breathe good, didn't know what it was. Within minutes, it spiraled out of control, and I won't get into particulars. They don't think it was a heart attack. They think that was secondary. But bottom line is he passed out and stopped breathing, got him to the hospital. But there was a catastrophic amount of time where proper oxygen didn't get to the brain. So he has suffered irreversible and severe brain damage. So there's limited brain activity. There's very limited brainstem activity, and several doctors and several things, and the families looked at others, and there's a family member, Susan, who is a nurse practitioner, but with like 17 titles behind her name. She's a PhD, and she instructs and teaches and got extensive knowledge and reach, and she has researched and searched, and unfortunately this is one of those times where we did it again. that Eric, I'm sorry, I just heard it going on outside. That public broadcast is going off. Yep. We'll figure that out. We need to get that changed to somebody else's show. That's my show every day. I don't like that. But anyway.
It feels like it, I swear.
It is.
And we have no control over it.
Eric said it's every day. It's every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on my show at 11:15 or 20 or something. Anyway, folks, the bottom line is this family has had to make a decision, and you all know what that is, and that's to remove the ventilator. So I just ask you to put yourself in their position. Some of you have been in that position, and I don't know, it's uncharted territory. I've been blessed to have the opportunity and trust to walk down a similar path with some other families and some other friends and men that have had to say goodbye and leave this earth, but now they're healed, and I do know that they had faith and they had belief in God, so they're in heaven and they're healed. But it still doesn't, that knowledge helps, but man, it doesn't make it that much better. So I send my love and support to them in Florida. Today and tomorrow is going to be terrible, and then within days or hours, it's going to be even worse. Folks, if you're going through something like that, reach out to others to let them help you. If you know somebody going through that, or they've gone through it, it gets quiet after the funerals and after the texts and the phone calls and the cards and the I love yous and I'm thinking of you. Then it quiets down, and then people they get alone again and they get lonely again. Don't forget them. And if you're one of those people, reach out to me and let me tell your story for you just a little bit, or share a snippet of it that's going to help that one person out there. And don't forget, if we've got our moms and our dads and our brothers and our sisters and husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends and kids, man, this just spiraled out of control out of nowhere. It can happen to anybody. Recently we've had some crashes and we've had some car wrecks and we've had some other things. So put the hate and put all that venom and vigor and vile crap aside, man, and get down to basics. And the basics are love yourself, love your family. And, it's my opinion. You got to love God first, family, and then you get into work and business and stuff like that. But you got to take care of each other. So that's what's happened, where I had to have some replays and stuff like that. And maybe I haven't seemed so up, and maybe I haven't been to some events and stuff lately. And I haven't been able to return all the phone calls and texts and stuff. And I'm sorry, but I will. And I got to tell you, too, I've had a few friends reach out to me, and it's awesome. It's amazing what a text can do for you. It's amazing what just a simple "I'm thinking of you" can do. So to my mentors and my friends and my buddies, my pals, Jim Gentry, dude, wow. He is just a good man. There's dozens of people dozens and dozens of people he has mentored through the years and that he's been there to help out in trying times. And then Todd Yancey. Todd Yancey's just a good dude. He is just he's an angel walking on this earth for so many people. He just recently lost his father, and it was devastating for that family. Long, long battle of cancer. But that was a good man. Hundreds and hundreds of men and women and families in Montgomery County relied on him from business, for advice, and just for humor. You know, you didn't want to ride in his truck with him because you probably didn't find a spot to sit in it from junk, and you didn't know if someone was going to crawl out and bite you, you know. But Todd has reached out and offered some incredible advice. So I'm just telling you, folks, don't downplay your ability to help somebody. Don't downplay. You don't need a PhD. You don't need, anything. You just need to be a buddy and a friend. It's like Eric just texted me, said life changes in the blink of an eye, and it does. And it does. And you just don't know. You just don't know how people handle it. One person can handle it really strong and tough, and another person, they spiral out of control, and there's no right or wrong either. There's no right or wrong. Hey, Dick Schissler over there with Jason. There's no right or wrong. There's no perfect way to do it. There's no one thing better for one than the other. Everybody's different in how they handle it. The biggest thing I can say to you is grieve. Grieve. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to be in pain. It's okay to cry. It's okay to reach out for help. That's the biggest thing that I've seen is people try to hold it up and ball it in, and that's devastating.
And if you're somebody out there that you know somebody's grieving and you know somebody's going through a hard time like this, I'm telling you, a listening ear it's as good as any medicine or any sort of help you can offer. I mean, the listening ear goes a long way.
And we don't always have to have an answer.
No.
In fact, sometimes we have an answer. Sometimes we've experienced something we can share, but sometimes just saying, I care about you.
Yeah.
And listening and having some tissues. Look, I was ready.
He's got his classy hanky ready too.
I've got my classy hanky ready. So, but folks, thanks for letting me pour that off my chest, and thank you for letting me tell you that. So reach out to those. If you are a friend of me or my wife's family, stuff like that, reach out to her that could use it. So, hey, here's what we got going on tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you now. Gary Buckaloo of CS Ministries will be here with Adam from the Refuge. We're going to have a once-a-month show with Gary, bringing on different organizations, different people that deal with veterans, PTSD, recovery, addiction, getting back in the workplace. A hand up, not a handout. So you want to listen to that because he's always going to be talking a little bit about CS Ministries. He's going to be talking a lot about other organizations and other people that can help out. Then on Friday, we have a candidate for a Montgomery County position that will announce his or her candidacy for that position. So you got to tune in Friday to hear about that. And like I reminded you folks, I'm wanting everybody, incumbents and challengers, to come on this show and talk about what they want to do. The first show is always a freebie, so to speak, meaning I'll ask you a few questions, but my job is not to get you. That's those bloggers and those people that even though they bring up some real and truthful stuff, they're just so venomous that you don't even know what's real and fake. And I know a lot of it's fake. And then you've got the other sides that don't even denounce it. They just say everybody's fake. And so I want to take away that segment of he said, she said, and come sit across from me and tell me your story. Not me, but everybody in Montgomery County. So whether you're a justice of the peace, a county commissioner, a treasurer, a tax collector, assessor, a city councilman, mayor, county judge, district judge, county court judge. I mean, anybody that's of leadership. And if you're not just that, if you're a businessman or woman leadership that's involved, come on this show and talk about your stuff. Then when we get more into the political process, we're going to have some debates as long as everybody agrees to it. But even then, I won't bring up anything new just because somebody texted me or messaged me something. I've had dirt on people before, and don't bring it up. It's about the issues. So that's what's going to happen the rest of this week. And then next week, Wednesday, we have Chad Patterson, who used to be with Crisis Assistance Center. He's now a public speaker, motivator, teacher, talker, mentor. He's got a lot to offer to individuals and businesses. Thursday will be a friend of mine, Dale Inman, Pastor Dale Inman. Dale is so involved in prison ministry. He's so involved in the political process and stuff. And then Friday, we have two young ladies that are/were involved in the Montgomery County Animal Shelter. They'll be coming on. So we'll talk more about that. Folks, it's the half hour. It's time to take that big break. We'll be right back. Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate on Lone Star Community Radio, your community radio station. We'll see you.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Oh my gosh, we're back. And you know what? I needed this. Dude, I didn't realize it. Folks, you're listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate. It is a part of Montgomery County Lifestyle, Nathan Arrazate, where we go out in the community. We do things in the community. We promote businesses. We promote events, organizations, individuals. We do it through Facebook. We do it through event photography, promotions, getting people to go to your event, getting people to go to your open house if you're a business owner, getting people to come to your Facebook page. That's pretty much a big thing that I do. And that's how I get paid. So I need more business, okay? Hello, I need you. But then we morphed into this with Lone Star Community Radio for me meeting Dick way back when. And it's just a great outlet to not only bring those businesses that I deal with, but that you bring to us and talk about your local business.
Are we just here to talk about ourselves now?
Yeah, we are. We are.
Yeah.
And then the events, and then the different political processes, and the nonprofits and things like that. And that's what we're going to morph into on this last part of the show is what can Lone Star Community Radio bring to you? Yeah, you're hearing it from me, but there's other talk shows. There's other music shows. We need to build this up. We need to build up the community from here. And so I've got a couple of questions to lead into that with Dick, but it's kind of just what I want the folks to hear, Dick, is I want them to go back and kind of hear where this came from, what your mind, your model has taken it from where it was to what it is now. And I want to challenge my followers, because they're the ones listening, and those that may not be following me all the time, my friends that text and message all the time. I want to challenge them to get involved, A, by listening, B, by sharing it when they love the topic and stuff like that, and going to listen to the rest of the community radio, family of shows. And then lastly, we don't need to have a PBS telethon. So we need sponsorships to get involved, not only because there needs to be an income to drive this, but we're able to give love out to those sponsors. And those sponsors, in my opinion, and I know you too, I think they should feel good that it's not really an advertising dollar, it's a sponsorship of the community dollar. So yeah, they're getting advertising out of it, so to speak, but they're sponsoring their community. So that's what we're going to dive into real quick. Tell everybody real quick who you are and give us a little background.
I'm Dick Schissler. I'm the station manager, and I started Lone Star Internet Radio, and now it's Lone Star Community Radio, and we're here to provide content for Montgomery County.
What do you mean by content?
We have radio, television, YouTube, podcasts, and then live internet. Basically, we have talk radio from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and if we don't fill those time slots, that usually means one's available, and anyone can really start a talk show if they want. They just have to meet with me, and we try not to double up on a lot of the, drive of each show, but we try to always focus on the core of Montgomery County somewhere along the lines. Like for today, our sports show is going to be on at 1 p.m. with Jake from Sports Talk. We are working on adding a program for radio plays. We used to do that a couple years ago, and people still email us asking, when can I audition? But they're starting up a new style of it called Lone Star Troop, and that's coming up very soon here on Sunday nights. And then we have DJs outside of those 10 to 3 p.m. weekdays. So you can volunteer DJ and learn the radio world at any age. We do a lot of internships. We really encourage people to get hands-on experience here. So if you're thinking about going to college or you're in high school or middle school, we're here to just teach you about how things work in the radio world, because we try to do it as professional as possible while keeping it loosey-goosey with our content and also our hosts, as you know, your show. But that's really what I am. I kind of just manage the station. I help people, and then we are continuously trying to provide information for Montgomery County and also entertainment at the same time. So we have a variety of shows too. So if you have a need that you want help with, we're probably got a show. We got a veteran show. We got a business shows. We have chamber shows, and we also have news shows. So what's going on in the county or specific areas like Conroe, and then we have sports shows. We have variety shows. We have your Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Office. If you don't know who those guys are, I encourage you to check them out. Look them up online. They do the 4-H Club. They also do the Master Gardeners.
They've got a great following, but that's one that really, really could and should explode with more followers, because
they offer so much stuff, and majority of the time it's free services because it's provided by the state of Texas.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that a lot of people don't know what they offer until they get the whole deal. And I always told them, because there's so many of them.
Right.
If you go over there, there's so many people involved with the AgriLife Extension Office. If you don't know where the office is, folks, if you know where the Lone Star Community Center is, I think it's on Airport Road right there. Yep. It's right across the street from it. You can see it. It says Texas A&M AgriLife. That's where the Master Gardeners. They have a huge garden there. And they really do offer a lot of different things. So if you have questions about your gardening, if you have questions about your landscaping.
That's what I was going to tap on. That's the experience I have with them. I worked for a nonprofit a few years ago, and one of their master gardeners, Judson, came out, and it's so funny because when it's your passion and it's not ours, we look at you sometimes, we're like, dude, what's the deal? He was so upset that so many donations and money had been spent on the wrong greenery.
Oh, yeah.
In the wrong location. Only because he's like, no, those are going to die, but if you put them over here, they would flourish. Oh, my gosh, you've replanted 3 times. That's because the evening sun is the wrong sun. You need the morning sun. And he would point out, move them 30 feet, 20 feet. And sure enough, he and a partner designed this master plan that would have been close to $5,000 had it been done through
No, they're there.
corporate.
That's one of the many services they offer.
Yeah.
So it's
huge.
They're purely educational, which is important. And then programs like that, and that's really what we try to do. And then we have jazz music on the weekends, and then we're working on other genres too, and stuff like that. So.
Let me ask you this. I know that somebody had mentioned something to me a while back, and then they kind of dropped it, and I haven't wanted to reapproach them. You mentioned sometime you'd love to have somebody come involved and get involved in the Sunday morning stuff. What does that look like?
Well, Sunday morning programming really looks like talk show programming. I'm really looking for a car show and a strictly gardening show. I'm also looking for a show that covers the lake. So if somebody likes fishing or anything lake activity, because there's always so much going on over at the lake year round, I feel like there's enough content to make a show every Sunday
That's
morning.
awesome. A fishing show once a month to start off with. If they can bring up the content once a week, whatever.
Yeah, we just try to make it work for the hosts. We work different ways to help people, because a lot of people who approach us have never been on the radio.
Right.
So we don't want to dissuade them from even trying. We want people to try, and then you never know. They might flourish, or they might realize that it's not a good fit. So
Your advice to me the first time was just do one show a month. Just see if you like it, see if you get a following. Mm-hmm. But you were... And then we really started off doing Meet the Candidates on the morning talk show, and that was what you said. Get your feet wet, see if there's a voice, see if people want to get involved, and then it morphed into more. So, but no, I'm just thinking the fishing, because I'm thinking Steve Kane, Roger Rysick, Ken Mester. These are 3 friends of mine that are fishing freaks. They get into, well, Ken's just the relaxed guy.
I would love
the
to
other 2
have
are
that, because
tournaments
there's
and
an
stuff.
audience, and we are 106.1 is all over the lake. 104.5 is on the lake, so it's just we have a lot of boaters out there, and a lot of times they have radios, so they can listen to what's going on, especially in the morning. We can talk about certain things that I have no idea anything about fishing, but I imagine there's information out there that is important for a fisherman to know, especially on the lake. I know a lot of the constables out there really want the safety thing being pushed
Oh,
because we've always.
Philip Cash is pushing that hard.
So that's something else we want to do. But there's so many things we can do as a radio station. But we really need the involvement of the community, like what they want, what do they see as a need, and we'll try to find something or a person, a face. Really, that's the radio part. You need the face or the voice to drive all those things.
And here's what's really sad. For the longest time, people have told me I have a face for radio.
Well, we're also
But now
on TV
we're on YouTube and TV. So what's going to happen?
You just got to come clean shaven and, look somewhat presentable. So
It's from the waist up. You don't see that I've got on shorts because I've got a family thing to take care of, and then I've got my dad. I've got to go help him at a house and stuff. So, but I look good in pink today.
yeah, that's bright.
And you look good in orange.
Yeah,
Is
we're
that orange or
actually
peach? Peach.
Well, who cares?
You got the horse on your shirt.
But one thing we always try to do is we always try to add more quality stuff to the stations. And one thing I want to talk about is the next step for Lone Star. We're going to start doing more remotes, and we also are mobile on our video cameras. We're going to be mobile in a couple weeks, and then we're going to be adding more production quality to the in studio and out studio. So we're looking for events to cover. We do a lot of in-kind trade for nonprofits, and then we also do in-kind trade for PSAs and things like that to run on the radio. We're trying to get more involved with the nonprofit world more than what we already do because they throw so many great events, and we just want to get more involved. And we're really pushing the remotes coming up for the third quarter and fourth quarter for the year.
And then the flip side to that is what can drive the studio to do more. It's just like I tell people. It's okay to make a profit in business because the companies that have a heart for their employees and the community, the more they make, the more they invest. Lauren and Fallon Wiesner, when we had the interview and I've met with them, they talk to their employees and say, where do you want our money spent? Where do you want us to get involved? So they want to make a profit so they can give back to their employees. So where I'm driving this is you want to do a lot for the nonprofit world, but there's some for-profit companies that can pay. You have a small fee.
Well, there's certain,
and it's not that huge for them to come for you to come out and do that.
Well, one thing that it's always the business question is what is our pay structure, what is our income structure, and it's just kind of it's different because since our label of the name is community radio, I try not to dissuade small businesses, and then certainly the bigger corporations that have that kind of money who have basically a marketing budget. A lot of businesses around here do not have a marketing budget. They probably barely even have an accounts receivable system set up.
Right.
So we try to keep it as easy as possible, painless process, and then also get them involved. Because when it comes down to sponsoring something, it's you're helping sponsor the production of a talk show.
Right.
So it's a little different from traditional radio or traditional TV where we just run your little radio spot and then it's done. No, like you're branded on that specific show forever. The YouTube, any replay of the podcast, that sponsorship is included in that production because that's kind of the idea. It's kind of the old PBS model where you're sponsoring the production of stuff.
We'll be taking a break in a minute, but what I also wanted to lead into that with you too is talking about your remotes. There's for-profit companies out there that are going to have a big event, whether it's a political process, whether it's a grand opening or whatever, and they could have the pre-promotion, the post-promotion, and they could have a live remote, and it's a whole lot less expensive than a great radio station, K-Star, and it's totally different market, so to speak, but it's apples and oranges. Your fees are so reasonable, and you're still bringing that community to them.
Well, really what we're trying to do is encompass the whole radio station for those remotes. Something that I like to try to work out is we take our talk shows out there. And that way we're out there for a lot longer than a traditional radio station would be out there because we're here to promote this event. And we're trying to make the best bang for your bucks also be tied with the community. Because a lot of people don't realize about radio is when it's 4th of July, people are working at the radio station. And when it's the holidays or when it's the weekends, people are working at the radio station. So it's kind of, we try to do as much as possible because we're already doing things.
Right.
So.
Right. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Dick, I've got one or two questions about where you want to see Lone Star Community Radio lead and basically what you want the community to know. Sound good? Folks, Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate on Lone Star Community Radio. We'll be right back.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Ezra Charles and the Works from Beaumont, Texas, currently lives in Houston. It's drive time boogie for you to wake up. Folks, you're listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate. Right across from me is the handsome and effervescent, still single, sorta, Dick Schissler. Well, you're not married. Come on.
In my heart, I am.
Well, that's what, see there. Oh, we got him just like Sherry Morgan and them, just like we got Trey Diller and Mike Nyam. You remember a couple of weeks back, they're from Inspire Productions, and we talked about them being single. And he's like, "Oh no. I'm dating somebody. I'm real happy." So I found out the feedback from that was that he made a big deal about it, and his friends were dogging him afterwards.
Yeah,
because he's another one like Eric Estes. He's got a model.
I'm excited about that Margarita Festival coming up. That's gonna be
cool.
Yep.
That's August 19th. Texas Taco Margarita, Texas Taco Tequila and Margarita Festival. It's going to be big.
Well, it's funny. I wanted to kind of go on with the promotions of remotes. One thing too important about the radio station, if anybody in the county has something to promote and wants to be a guest, we have so many options for people, and we try to connect you to everybody on the show. That's one thing I think we do differently than other businesses or other production media companies is we don't just have one section for political people. We don't have one section for salespeople. You can be on any show that the show wants you to be on. And I think that's really important, especially if you're trying to get a message out to different audiences.
Well, that's just it. You've got different audiences because of personalities. Maybe somebody doesn't like listening to me. Maybe somebody really likes me. But maybe it's also a different time frame. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's in the morning versus afternoon. Maybe it's on a Friday versus a Tuesday.
What's funny, and this is going to sound, I don't know how to make this sound, I don't sound conceited about this, but the world's changing in a sense of technology, and FM radio is just part of what we do here. Probably the most important part I see are the recorded elements, because your show is podcasted. If your audience is listening right now, if you miss a show, you can go on your iTunes or Google Play if you have an Android phone or if you have an Apple phone, and you can subscribe to this show, and you can listen you can listen on demand anytime.
24/7.
24/7 after the show has been aired. And I think that's really the strength of these shows, because if you have an audience that wants to be a fan and wants to consume your show anyway, we put it on YouTube, we put it on TV. So if you miss it, it's not a big deal. So the FM is like just a piece of the pie. And what we try to serve to sponsors or to listeners is this whole piece, the whole pie. And it makes sense in the end because we cover all the areas of how people consume. Because people my age or even younger, like Jake, or even younger as in Austin here, like those things are going to keep coming up, being more important in their lifestyle. The older lifestyle, which the FM is really, I like FM because it's just convenient. People get it, but now people are getting YouTube. They can just go to YouTube and look up Montgomery County Lifestyle, and they can see you all day. They can consume it all day. But it just depends on what the listener is and their habits are.
And it could be something changes in their life. For example, Eric Estes, his wife works for a long-term assisted living and memory care facility. I'm going to be having him and his wife on soon. He works for an oil field company. We're going to talk about oil field. We're going to talk about memory care. So two totally different topics that we'll cover in 1 hour. We won't be able to reach it all, so we'll have them back individually or together again. But a year from now, somebody may have that memory care issue with a family member, and then go, I think they cover this kind of stuff at that Lone Star place. They can go to mine or your channel, and they can look it up and find it and get some information.
Well, especially with the political game around here. Politics are a big deal here, and that's one thing I want to be involved in, is giving a platform that's equal to everybody, and it's live, and you can come back to it. I don't think that's really being offered in a concentrated area here. And especially, someone can come in every week or, do updates like that instead of waiting on something that's live and then we record it. So people always ask, do you record stuff? I'm like, well, yes, we're on TV, YouTube, and it kind of blows their mind that we do offer all these other ways. And it's just, to me, I treat it just as important as the FM or the live, because you always try to remind people who at 11 o'clock might not be able to listen, and at least they know they can download it afterwards,
right,
and listen whenever they want to.
Right. And you hit the nail on the head with it going into the political season too. And I don't want to it's not only that, there's so much out there, but that's important too. And that's one of the messages I'm trying to drive, because I know some people in the political world. Let's say that I don't really like you as an elected official. I'm still, and this radio station is still going to give you a platform and a voice to speak about what you want with no gotchas. I don't know any other media right now, that somebody's not pointing the finger saying they're not fair. We are going to be, and we are fair, that everybody gets a voice. Say something about that, because I don't know that people know.
You might not be fair, David, but we'll
I have
try.
been so far.
We'll try.
I've been so far.
Really, the goal is we want everyone's voice heard, and it's in one way or another. I mean, it's kind of impossible to say we want everyone heard, because there's only so much time in the day. But when it comes down to political people who are running for an elected position, I think it's important to get them on the air and be accountable, and also present themselves in the way they want to be presented.
Exactly.
Because it's all about interpretation for the audience, and the audience can hate this person all they want, but at least we want to give them the platform as much as the next person and give them a chance to do things.
Here's a big deal about Lone Star Community Radio giving that platform to anybody, but especially the political. The TV and the YouTube side of it. Because here's why. How many times have you heard they took that out of context? The Courier misquoted me. The Houston Chronicle misquoted me. That blogger, I gave them 5 sentences. They only printed 2. It's here on TV. You can't take it back. And hopefully it's a positive thing. Not that they make a mistake, but no one can change their words.
How they want to structure it. Your show's a little gotcha, but I'm just kidding. I love it, because every time I say that, he's like, no.
Well, because you know what? So many people have done that, but I keep giving an example. Kate Bim, she's a great lady. She's so kind to my dad. She knew that I personally was supporting Phil Grant.
Yeah.
And I heard later on that she was waiting, expecting me to play a getcha. And she said afterwards, she said, you know what? Thank you.
Well, that's important for the station itself to have that reputation, because especially for the Democrat side of this county, there's really not a lot of them.
I wish somebody would come on, because I haven't met one yet.
I mean, I've met a couple who are closet Democrats, but
well, they're going to run as Republicans, otherwise they won't get elected.
Well, that's actually one thing too. Is I remember when I first came up to this county, I think it was 6 years ago. That what's really bothered me on the political side is when you go to these forums, you have 6 Republicans, and they would ask the question, you get the 6 answers that are exactly the same. And I'm like, how are you supposed to be able to differentiate these people if you didn't already know them? Because it's just kind of hard to ask those silly questions. They're going to have those silly answers from everybody. And it's really hard to choose a candidate out of that, because you already know what everyone's going to say. So basically, it comes down to a charisma game, and there's more to There's more to leadership than that. I know charisma is a big deal with leadership, but this is the county you live in, and these decisions are being impacted by their decisions. So,
well, it's that time we got to go. So just here's the deal: tomorrow's Gary Buckaloo of CS Ministries, and he's going to be bringing Adam from the Refuge Trauma Center. Friday, we have a huge political announcement, folks. You've been listening to Montgomery County Lifestyle with Nathan Arrazate on Lone Star Community Radio and Dick Schissler. Get involved. Again, do I want you to listen to what this show does? Exactly, but there's so much content here. Spread the word. Share the YouTubes and the podcast so that somebody else sees it. And then they go to the Facebook page of Lone Star Community Radio. They go to the website and they get involved. He's looking for more topics. He's looking for more people to get involved in the station. So it's up to you to get involved in your community. Sound good, Dick? Nathan Arrazate of Montgomery County Lifestyle, folks, and I'm just going to remind you, this is your county, your life. Get involved with us here, because that's our style. We'll see you.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show is recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.